Hey guys, this is day one of me and my newly installed Manjaro Linux, the KDE edition, on my production machine. That's right, last night I wiped out Ubuntu LTS that had been running on my main workstation here at home, and I went ahead and installed Manjaro last night. I already had all my data backed up. I had a couple hundred gigs of files that I'd saved to an external hard drive, an SSD drive. I had like 110 gigs of music that I had to back up, and then probably 150 gigs of virtual machines that I had to back up too. I wanted to save all that information. I didn't want to, lose all that stuff, because some of that stuff I can't get back. So I backed up everything I needed to back up. Went ahead and ran through the Manjaro install last night. The Manjaro install, as expected, went very smooth. In 20 minutes, I had Manjaro KDE up and running. And then today, I spent 2 or 3 hours transferring all those files from my backup SSD drive onto the SSD drive on my computer here. So let me discuss some of the things I did initially in Manjaro, and in particular in KDE. Setting this up the way I wanted to set it up. Now, I had been playing with Manjaro KDE's edition for about 3 months in a virtual machine, so I kind of had my virtual machine set up the way I wanted it. But there are some things, some little nagging bugs that I found today in my initial first day living in Manjaro KDE that I discovered living, on a physical machine rather than a virtual machine, because I never recorded one of these videos in a virtual machine. I didn't install GUVC View, Simple Screen Recorder, and all that, and record a video inside a virtual machine, of course, while I was living in it. But recording this video, I've discovered something. The icons only taskbar at the bottom here in the KDE panel at the bottom, I have the icons only taskbar rather than the standard KDE taskbar that includes an icon plus the full name of the program. Well, I really like just having an icons only taskbar. When I highlight these icons, you can see right now I'm highlighting the VirtualBox icon, and it says Kdenlive Video Editor. That's because I pinned Kdenlive on this icons only taskbar, and I also pinned VirtualBox. But when I open up GUVC View, I notice the icons, 3 or 4 of them just disappeared, and then they're out of order. Like when I highlight over Thunderbird or Firefox right here, it says Console Terminal. When I highlight Thunderbird, it says Firefox Web Browser. That only happens, at least so far that I've discovered, when I open up GUVC View. GUVC View is my webcam program. It's what I'm actually in right here in this rectangle where you see my head and me talking. That's GUVC View. It's a webcam app. Well, apparently, anytime I open that, it breaks the icons only taskbar here. Now, when I close GUVC View, the taskbar corrects itself. All the normal icons are back in their proper place. So, while I'm recording a video, that's kind of a bit of a bug, but while I'm recording a video, I'm not going to be, playing around in these icons and launching stuff anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's something I probably need to file a bug report with KDE about, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that's having this problem. Alright, so I set up my KDE panel to be on the bottom of the screen. I set up an icons only taskbar. I also installed a Plasma widget called Plasma Custom Desktop Menu. What is that? It gives me a right-click menu, similar to OpenBox, a customizable right-click menu. I can edit this to my heart's content and set it up however I want to. This is just the default configuration. I haven't edited this menu in any way, but I will. I just haven't gotten around to really setting up this desktop yet. Again, I just installed Manjaro KDE in the middle of the night last night, and then I worked all day today, just getting home, and I really just haven't had time to really set things up fully yet, but I'll get around to it. That widget again is Plasma Custom Desktop Menu. I found that on linux-apps.com. One of the things that kind of bugged me about KDE when I was living in it in a virtual machine, I had to change it right away, and the same thing here. By default KDE, let me launch Dolphin here. This is the Dolphin file manager, fantastic file manager. Probably the best file manager in Linux. It is really one of the highlights of the KDE suite of programs. By default, it has single-click, open functions. So anytime you single-click a folder, you go to that folder. Anytime you single-click an application, it launches. I'm used to having to double-click everything. Like if I wanted to highlight, a folder here, say my desktop folder, I highlight it with single-click, and then if I want to do something, copy it, paste it, with a keyboard command or right-click, and do some actions here, I can, because a single click, all it does is just highlight it. Well, by default, KDE has single click functions that just, launch things. I want to turn that off, and I thought, it was a setting I could find in the Dolphin file manager, but it's not. It is actually a KDE setting. The single click or double click action, to open things is a KDE desktop environment wide setting that you have to do. Let me show you where you find that. Alright, so you need to go to System Settings. So open up the System Settings, and then you need to go to Input Devices. Then you need to go to Mouse, and then you see the option here of single click to open files and folders, double click to open files and folders. I set that to double click. By default, it is on single click. So it took a little digging around to find the setting for that. I really don't know why that you can't change that from the Dolphin file manager. I mean, that's really where you're going to be opening files and folders for the most part anyway. It would make sense for you to have that setting, somewhere in Dolphin to find, but that's a minor gripe. And the day before I actually went through the installation, wiped out my machine, and installed Manjaro, I took a couple of our viewers' advice. Some of you Manjaro users said I really needed to join the Manjaro forum, as a friendly community, and I'd get a lot of help and advice there. So the day before I actually went through the install, I went ahead and joined the forum. I figured I needed to, go ahead and join the community. I'm probably going to live in Manjaro, for a little while. Who knows, maybe long term. But I'm definitely going to stick with it for a while. I'm not going into this, thinking I'm going to run Manjaro for a month or two and then wipe it out and install something else. That's not the way I operate. Once I install something, it's going to sit on this machine for a while. So I was actually pretty happy with the Manjaro community. I already made a couple of posts, and people are friendly there. It seems like it's a nice, friendly, active community. I found it interesting that when I joined the Manjaro forums, there were actually a couple of posts on the forums already about my video, and my decision to install Manjaro on my system. Apparently a couple of the Manjaro users have viewed my channel before. One of them posted a post, and how he describes it: this Debian/Ubuntu guy decides to go Manjaro. True story. And for those of you that are members of the Manjaro forum, if you want to find me on the forum, my username that I registered is Derek T, D-E-R-E-K T. That's actually my name. My name is Derek Taylor. So look for me on the forums. You guys want to message me. You can also message me, of course, on the YouTube channel. Feel free to look me up on Facebook too. I have a DistroTube Facebook page that, feel free to leave any kind of comments on Facebook. I check it regularly. Well, anyway, that's really my first day here in Manjaro KDE. Again, I haven't spent much time with it at all, on this physical machine yet. I just installed it last night. I was away most of the day today. And of course, a lot of the time I did spend on it was just moving files from my backup drive, back onto this machine. So I really haven't got it quite set up the way I'm going to eventually have it set up. I also haven't bothered getting all my virtual machines that I've been running, for the channel back installed. I really need to get my virtual box set up correctly again, make sure all the virtual machines, especially the ones that I've been keeping up to date for 2-3 months now, hopefully all those make the backup trip, from the backup hard drive back to my main machine, because I'd hate to lose some of those installations. But all in all, so far it's been fantastic. The only thing, this nagging bug where, I make a lot of videos, and anytime I launch GUVC View, which I'm going to launch GUVC View every time I make a video, the fact that it breaks the icons only taskbar here to where it's unusable, because if I click any of these icons, they're not going to launch the correct program. They're going to launch some other program. They're all out of order. So while I'm making videos, I'll actually have to go to the menu here and find the correct program I want to launch, because the taskbar is broken while GUVC View is running. But again, I need to file a bug. I need to check on that. Maybe there's some kind of fix for it out there already. I just noticed it starting this video, this little bug here. So the one other thing that I also need to check out is I usually edit my videos in a program called Pativi. Pativi is a video editing program. By default, of course, being a KDE program, KDE comes with Kdenlive, that video editor, installed by default. I've never used Kdenlive, but I thought since it's already installed, I'm going to try editing my videos in Kdenlive, which everyone tells me is a fantastic video editing program. So this is actually going to be the very first video that I use Kdenlive for my editing. So hope it works out well. Anyway, just wanted to keep you guys up to date on my newly installed Manjaro KDE. Peace, guys.